William turned 46 last month. From the outside, his life looked like a financial success story. He owns a beautiful 4-bedroom house in a quiet neighborhood. The house is worth about $820,000. His car is paid off. His credit card balance is zero. His retirement account shows a respectable balance of about $210,000. His friends often describe him as the responsible one. William follows all the traditional financial advice. He saves diligently, avoids debt, and pays extra toward his mortgage every single month. For the past 7 years, William has been sending an additional $1,200 to the bank on top of his regular mortgage payment. His goal is simple. Eliminate the mortgage as fast as possible. Most people would call that discipline. Most people would say William is doing everything right. But 3 months ago something small happened that exposed a problem hiding inside his financial strategy. William's water heater failed. The technician inspected it and shook his head. It needed to be replaced and the total cost would be about $6,500. For most homeowners with a house worth more than $800,000, a repair like that should not be a crisis. But when William opened his banking app, he felt something uncomfortable. His checking account had $3,800. His savings account had $5,200. Replacing the water heater would wipe out almost everything he had available in cash. The strange part is that William is not poor. On paper his net worth is over $1 million. His home equity alone is more than $500,000. But that money is locked inside the walls of his house. He cannot use it without selling the property or borrowing against it. So the man with $1 million net worth had to apply for a home equity line of credit just to replace a water heater. This is where the math begins to reveal something uncomfortable. William is not financially free. He is financially fragile. The belief guiding William's decisions is one that millions of people accept without questioning. Pay off your house as quickly as possible and you will become financially secure. It sounds logical. A paid-off house means no mortgage payment, no bank, and no debt. But the math behind this belief hides a problem that most people never calculate. William's original mortgage was about $420,000 at a little over 4% interest. His required monthly payment was just over $2,000. But because he wanted to be debt-free faster, he added an extra $1,200 each month toward the principal. Over 7 years, that extra payment added up to more than $100,000. William felt proud of that discipline. And to be fair, he did save money on interest. By accelerating his mortgage payments he reduced the interest he would have paid by roughly $24,000. That sounds like a victory until you run a different version of the math. Imagine that instead of sending that extra money to the bank, William invested the same $1,200 each month in a simple broad market index fund. Historically, the stock market has returned roughly 9 to 10% annually over long periods of time. Even using a conservative estimate of 8%, investing $1,200 each month for 7 years would grow to around $130,000. That money would be liquid. It would be accessible. It would give William flexibility. Instead, the money he sent to the bank became home equity that he cannot easily access. The decision that looked responsible created a strange outcome. William saved about $24,000 in mortgage interest, but he potentially gave up more than $30,000 in investment growth. Even more importantly, he gave up liquidity. Liquidity is one of the most underestimated forces in personal finance. It simply means having access to your money when you need it. When people focus entirely on eliminating debt, they often forget that financial strength is not just about what you own. It is about what you can actually use. A house may be an asset, but it is not a flexible one. You cannot pay a hospital bill with drywall. You cannot fund a business opportunity with kitchen cabinets. You cannot survive a job loss with roof shingles. And this problem is not unique to William. A survey from the Federal Reserve found that about 37% of Americans cannot cover even a small emergency expense without borrowing money or selling something. But what many people miss is that a large number of those households actually have substantial wealth tied up in their homes. They are asset rich but cash poor. Their balance sheet looks impressive, but their financial resilience is weak. This creates a strange paradox. The more aggressively people push their money into illiquid assets, the more fragile their financial life can become. My name is Alex and I spend a lot of time thinking about the hidden math behind everyday financial decisions. The goal here is not to convince anyone to stay in debt forever. Debt can absolutely be dangerous when it is used recklessly. But there is an important difference between reckless debt and strategic debt. A mortgage with a relatively low interest rate is often one of the cheapest forms of borrowing available. In many cases, that inexpensive borrowing allows your money to work somewhere else. And this is where the concept of opportunity cost becomes important. Opportunity cost simply means what you give up when you choose one option over another. When William sends extra money to the bank, he is not just paying down debt faster. He is also choosing not to invest. He is choosing not to build liquidity. He is choosing not to create financial flexibility. The consequences of that decision extend far beyond a broken water heater. 2 months after that repair, one of William's former co-workers contacted him with a proposal. The co-worker had started a small consulting business that was beginning to grow. He offered William the chance to join as a partner with a $40,000 investment for a share of the company. It was a legitimate opportunity. William understood the industry. He trusted the person running the business. But he could not participate because the money was not available. His wealth was locked inside his house. The opportunity passed to someone else. This is where the math becomes more than just numbers. Financial decisions shape the options available in your life. Liquidity creates options. Illiquidity removes them. Many people are optimizing their finances for emotional comfort rather than mathematical efficiency. Being debt-free feels safe and responsible. But sometimes the numbers tell a different story. The consequences of that decision extend far beyond a broken water heater. 2 months after that repair, one of William's former co-workers contacted him with a proposal. The co-worker had started a small consulting business that was beginning to grow. He offered William the chance to join as a partner with a $40,000 investment for a share of the company. It was a legitimate opportunity. William understood the industry. He trusted the person running the business. But he could not participate because the money was not available. His wealth was locked inside his house. The opportunity passed to someone else. This is where the math becomes more than just numbers. Financial decisions shape the options available in your life. Liquidity creates options. Illiquidity removes them. Many people are optimizing their finances for emotional comfort rather than mathematical efficiency. Being debt-free feels safe and responsible. But sometimes the numbers tell a different story. The consequences of that decision extend far beyond a broken water heater. 2 months after that repair, one of William's former co-workers contacted him with a proposal. The co-worker had started a small consulting business that was beginning to grow. He offered William the chance to join as a partner with a $40,000 investment for a share of the company. It was a legitimate opportunity. William understood the industry. He trusted the person running the business. But he could not participate because the money was not available. His wealth was locked inside his house. The opportunity passed to someone else. This is where the math becomes more than just numbers. Financial decisions shape the options available in your life. Liquidity creates options. Illiquidity removes them. Many people are optimizing their finances for emotional comfort rather than mathematical efficiency. Being debt-free feels safe and responsible. But sometimes the numbers tell a different story. The goal of personal finance should not simply be eliminating debt. The goal should be maximizing resilience and flexibility. The first step is building a strong emergency fund before making aggressive extra mortgage payments. Ideally, this fund should cover several months of living expenses. This money is not meant for investing. It exists to protect you when life becomes unpredictable. The second step is comparing your mortgage interest rate with realistic long-term investment returns. If your mortgage rate is relatively low, investing additional cash instead of paying down the mortgage may create more long-term wealth. The third step is maintaining liquidity even while you invest. Having accessible investment accounts gives you a financial buffer that home equity alone cannot provide. Finally, remember that financial independence is not defined by the absence of debt. It is defined by the presence of options. The ability to handle emergencies. The ability to pursue opportunities. The ability to adapt when circumstances change. William's situation is not unusual. In fact, it reflects a quiet pattern in modern personal finance. Many people work incredibly hard to eliminate debt only to discover that they accidentally eliminated flexibility along the way. They followed the rules and did everything they believed was responsible, but the math was pointing in a different direction. The real goal is not simply to accumulate assets. The real goal is control. Control over your time, your choices, and the opportunities available to you. A paid-off house can certainly be part of that future. But if the journey toward it leaves you unable to handle a moderate repair or a meaningful opportunity, then the equation may be out of balance. Once you see that math clearly, the question changes completely. The question is no longer how quickly you can eliminate debt. The real question becomes whether you are building a life with options or simply creating a balance sheet that looks strong on paper but leaves you unprepared for real life.